When you say you have a voice that's more suited to theater as opposed to the stage,
I have said that, and it's true.
what does that mean?
When I grew up singing musicals because I loved musicals. And I remember going to my first Broadway show, and it was how I learned to sing. And so that's kind of how I trained my own voice. So then when I started singing pop music and stuff, it was like nobody knew that I could sing in that way. And then when I started singing these songs, and if I sang My Man Somewhere from Barbra Streisand or something, people were like, oh my God, you can sing like that? And I was like, yeah, actually, I prefer singing in that way. That to me is more my natural voice.
What was the first Broadway?
The first Broadway show I ever saw was Song and Dance. And it was with Bernadette Peters. I think my aunt took me to it. She had tickets and she took me for my birthday or something. And she said, I have never felt like this. And I just fell in love with it. I was just like, oh my God, I love this so much. But that was the first one I saw. And then I saw Dreamgirls. It was a big deal. And then when I was a dancer, I saw Chorus Line because they were expensive and we couldn't go to shows like that all the time.
Yeah.
And now I take my kids to see as many shows as I can.
Do you really?
Yeah.
So what do they think of musicals?
They love music. I have a musical theater kid right now, and so I'm living my best life. They like go away to camp for musical theater, and they do all the shows, and I get to see them, and it's fantastic. And I try to expose them to all that stuff that my mom did for me because I know how much it impacted my life.
Do you think they'll go into the business?
I don't know. This generation is different. It's not as, I don't know, maybe because my kids are growing up different than I did.
Yeah.
So I grew up kind of with nothing, and they're growing up, you know, very kind of privileged in a way. And it's different. So I don't know that they have that same ambition and, you know, drive and push that I have.
Or that far off goal that
That they're like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna live my life and be happy. I think they're more interested in being happy, which I'm really glad about. I always told them I want them to do good in school. And I remember sitting them both down, maybe when they were about 10 or 11 years old, and I was like, do you understand what I want for you when I tell you to do this or that? I forgot what we were talking about. And yes, you care about grades, but you don't care about them as much as character. I said, yes. I want you to have good grades, but I want you to be good people.
Yeah.
That's what's important to me.